viewer. This is the Rays of Hope program, and we're very excited that you have joined us today. And today we're talking about dignity to the old. And there's a lot of insight here to share. There's a lot to learn about this topic. And we want to continue encouraging you to follow us on our social media platform, CAC TV Kenya on Facebook and CAC TV Kenya on YouTube. Drop your comments there. We will read and we will respond to you. With me in studio is my friend, Madam Joyce Juanjiko, and we'll get to know her very well because she represents Purity Elderly Care Foundation, and she'll tell us more about it. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much for having me.
Wonderful. Please say hello to the viewer.
Hello, my name is Juanjiko Joyce Cairo. I am the founder of Purity Elderly Care Foundation, an NGO I founded in honor of my late mother Purity, and I'm really excited to see you again, Reverend Lucy from Nyeri. We had a good time, and I thank you for having me today.
Wonderful. So glad you could find time and be with us, and we're very excited. But first, before we get into what dignity to the old means, and maybe even what Purity Foundation is involved in, who is Joyce? Tell us a bit about yourself.
Joyce is a girl of Purity Wanjiru and Haman Cairo, born of a family of seven, and number 4 in the family, and was born in a place called little village at the time called Watuka in Kieni, and born and bred there, brought up in Moiga town. So I'm born Tao, or taking care of Tao. So Moiga city. So basically, and then I went to school to Teto Girls Primary School, where I boarded as a little girl. Then went to high school, Uthaya Girls High School, and and decided that I didn't want to go to college in Nyeri because I thought it was shady. So I decided to come to Nairobi, where I went to college and did a bit of administration, secretarial. So that's now the basic me. And I am brought over from the PCA church. That's where I was brought up. And that's a Christian family. Well, I will say comfortable life. With a bunch of siblings.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Now your career breakthrough. I know you've traversed this world. You have gone places. Tell us a bit about that.
My career breakthrough is that I had these little jobs. You know, when you start college, you have all these little. You stop college, these data capturing jobs. But then I landed a job here in Nairobi, a job with Discount Securities, where we worked as stockbrokers. We were stockbrokers, so we did quite a number of work at the Nairobi Stock Exchange. We were the first people to wear the red jackets that they wore.
Wow.
So, and mine was the smallest. Because I was the smallest.
I can imagine you must have been tiny.
I was tiny, yes. So then from Discount, I joined a Stanchart, where I worked for the Executive Director of Finance at the time, and as an executive assistant to the Executive Director of Finance, and later, peer pressure, you growing, and before I even go there, is that I grew up believing that I wanted to be seen on TV.
Oh, okay.
So I thought I would travel and become this person. I wanted to be like Catherine Kasavuli. So I was like, if you travel, you go to greener pastures. So peer pressure actually pushed me. I started living large in Kenya because from Umoja, I went to Imaradaima, or from Moiga Watuka to Imaradaima. Then peer pressure from now my friends, we found ourselves traveling to Germany. And in Germany, that was in 1997.
You actually went to Germany.
I went to Germany.
That's interesting.
Yeah?
You went to Germany.
I went to Germany. And, for the record, I know people keep asking my age. I'm turning 50 in May. So,
are you?
Yes. I'm turning 50 in May. So I went in 1997, and the life there was not what I really expected, not what I wanted. I thought I was going to get some education, do some good things, come back with some career in Kenya, but really it didn't work out for me. So I came back to Kenya in 1998, and things were not really, I went into serious depression because what I went to do in Germany is not you know. And I want to tell people is that when you decide to travel, please know where you're going, because at the time, you know, I was young and I was just, you know, so I didn't actually do what it is that I wanted to do. Anyway, came back. I had sold all my household stuff. And my father thought I was out of my mind, you know. No, he was happy when I was traveling, going to Germany. My daughter is now going to. When I came back, they realized, oh, things are not looking good. But I went through that depression for 6 months, and somehow I found my way to South Africa. Again, taking a risk. I'm a risk taker. So you're talking to a risk taker. So whatever discussions you're going to have, you will know that you're dealing with a courageous woman.
Yeah, and you know, in this program, we inspire, through the discussions we have here, we inspire courage, resilience, and hope. Hence the rays of hope.
Exactly.
So even this turning around and picking up the pieces from you know, your brokenness from the German experience, and now going to, I don't know what helped you to turn around and to sober up, really.
Yeah, that's a good one. It was a period when you know, I came back having had a fight with some man who attempted to defile me. So we had a fight. So I came back sick and having, you know, scars all over. So I you know, I was, and as a result, I took some sleeping pills. So during the day I would sleep, but during the night, I found some little books. You remember Reader's Digest? Those little,
yes, it's the little ones.
Yes,
I remember them.
Yes, my dad's, my sister's husband at the time used to subscribe the same. So I would read them at night. So I realized all these problems, and you're talking about just one little fight that you had. And then that's when I dawned on me that, Juanjiko, you're reading all these. I had packs and packs of the books, and that's when my depression disappeared, because I saw mine was not a problem. And then now I met a friend who was going to South Africa, and at the time, now both Germany and South Africa at the time did not require visas to go to. So I found an opportunity to go to South Africa. I raised some funds through family. My dad, my cousins, people gave me some funds. I went to Kenyans who are in South Africa who are selling curios and doing some other good jobs. So it was not like Germany. So we worked with them. I managed to get myself a little job, and I got myself into college. I didn't have a degree when I left Kenya. So I got myself into college, and I bridged, you know, with these little jobs. Then I got myself into university. So, but in South Africa, when I landed with those little jobs, the data capturing at a refinery, and little by little, with, you know, that's the resilience. The resilience, yeah. Yes, I was just energetic, and I didn't want to be that person. I had seen myself probably where I am, but not with who I am right now. Not with that humility. I was seeing that other person. So basically, what I did, I managed to get myself a good job with a telecommunications company in South Africa, and I worked through with the institutions back into college, did a number of things, traveled with the company, and unfortunately, due to there's something we call bidding process. We were bidding for the third mobile generation in South Africa with the company, and we lost the deal. So they had to close shop in South Africa. When they closed shop, so I had to look for another job. God is faithful. I got a good job, and again, this other good job. As a transaction advisor, the team was transaction advisory team, and I was in it, and I was, so I will say is that South Africa worked for me. I traveled around the world. I gallivanted. I love rugby.
You do?
Yes.
That's what you took from South Africa?
That's what I took from South Africa.
I guess it's big there.
It is big there. Yes. I would actually sit and watch rugby, and even travel to watch rugby, so that was me. And the way I looked at rugby, again, I didn't look at rugby as just a game. I looked at rugby like an elephant. Not an elephant in a room, an elephant. It's that big thing. When it gets here, it hits. If it gives birth, you will know it has given birth. Am I right? And that's what rugby is. Rugby is a tough game. But when the win is there, they go through so much pain. That's the pain that I went through, that I've been going through.
So you could relate.
I could relate,
Yeah.
and I still relate, because rugby is not like football where you just hit a ball and run around. It's they hit each other, you see blood oozing. So
That's courage.
Take
Resilience.
courage, resilience.
Yeah,
You wake up in the morning, you know you're going to play rugby, you're hit, and you still get up and you put some ice, and yet you're going back. That is what rugby is about. That's why I loved rugby. That's the elephant. That's me.
Wow.
Yes. So I traveled, I did all sorts of things, driving those big cars, and your hair is gold, and you just,
Wow.
Sunglasses, BMW, open the Z4, and it opens, and you're like, yeah. So dining, sushi,
That was Juanjiko.
sushi,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
Oysters, nice in South Africa, you just going purposely for sushi and nice, big mansion, big house, nice, that life.
And
A
then,
swimming pool.
and then pop,
Bang,
bang.
bang.
That's what we've been waiting for.
That's what you've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Now, bang. What happened? My mother got sick. My mother, Purity. Remember, I am Joyce.
Yeah, you are Joyce.
Purity
Yes.
got ill. She had cancer of the colon. But I have to say, during my high flying, I invited my mother to come and stay with me to jump the millennium. So she stayed with me for, 1999.
Oh, that was 2000.
Yes,
Wow,
exactly.
you gave her a treat.
I gave her a treat in
Yeah.
South Africa.
That's
Although
so
the
sweet.
husband, my dad kept asking for her, but anyway, I didn't have a choice. She was a wife, so
So you had to let
I
her
had to
go.
let her go.
Yeah.
But we jumped the
The millennium. That was big.
That was
I
big.
remember the hype and all that.
Exactly. I was with my mother. Yeah, but anyway, she fell ill from 2008. Things started getting bad. Her body started ailing, and clearly there was that. There was. I'm unable to. Okay, yeah, there was the cancer, and we didn't know. She went to America with my sister, and she got sick there again, and then she came back to Kenya, and in 2009 she started ailing slowly. I came to Kenya to see my mother. For the record, I don't want to say I was not there for my mother, because I wasn't, but I was there because I would come regularly to visit home. I'm not that kind of a person who has never come home.
Yeah.
I would come like twice, 3 times a year.
In a year.
Yeah, and I would just, that life, just jump onto a plane, come home and stay a few days, then go back to South Africa. It was that easy. But this one time, my mother, I came in December of 2009, and my mother and I took a drive. And we took a drive to some place. No, my mother got sick. She was admitted in 2009. She was operated on. Then in January, and we took out of a hospital. I was here during the operation, or slightly after the operation, and she was taken to hospital. She came out of hospital. We went home. On the January 2010, I was with my mother. We jumped the year with my mom and dad, the 3 of us.
Yeah.
Then on the 3rd of January, my mother asked me to take her for a drive. And at first I did her hair. She had beautiful hair, like mine, by the way. Yeah, she had beautiful hair. So I plaited her hair. I, worked on her feet, and we took the drive. The drive was via Solio, Nanyuki, for nothing, doing nothing, but talking. And we spoke at length. And it is at that time, she told me a lot of things, which I've been unable to say, because sometimes you say things, people think you're out of your mind, or even family think you're lying. So it's a lot of information which I've kept to myself.
But precious, so precious.
Precious information that I've kept to myself. So we took the drive, and she told me just near Moringato in Nyeri, she told me while there, she has 6 months to live. And as we were driving, I told her, oh, really? So you are the carrier of life? She told me, I don't think I'm going to live. But anyway, I think I knew, because I had stolen her documents, and I had seen the cancer had metastasized. So it had gone far. So And well, we got now.
But that was, I mean,
Exactly.
letting that sink.
To let that sink.
Yeah, that's painful.
Yeah, but I also joked as we got home
Yeah.
because it poured. I remember it rained heavily, and as we got home, I told her, "Don't go before you wish me happy birthday." And she told me, "You think so?" I told her, "You will, Mom. You will." And yeah, that's the first bit of of now my relationship with my mom before her demise.
Yeah.
Then I went back to South Africa, I think on the 10th of that month of January of 2010. Went back to South Africa, and I would call my mom. I didn't come back immediately. I'd pick up my phone, call my mom. "Mommy, nasikiaje, how are you feeling?" And clearly she died a few months later. But she didn't die without wishing me happy birthday. I came back to Kenya to see my mom after calling, and I could hear sending money. This woman has money. This woman has helpers. She has a driver. She didn't need money.
No.
She needed Juanjiko
Yeah.
to take care of her.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually, I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So on the 28th of January of 2010, I flew back to Kenya. In fact, my boss told me he was to fire me because I just got up from our open plan office in Santon. Oh, I didn't tell you I lived in Santon.
Oh,
Santon, Johannesburg.
I've heard a lot about that.
Yeah, first in Durban, then Santon. Hey, yeah, that you should.
Durban and Santon.
Yeah. But anyway, Santon. I remember leaving the office and I got up. I just paid my flight ticket online with my credit card or my card, and I just told my boss, "Jarum, I'm off to Kenya." He told me, "Joyce, you have work to do tomorrow." Then I was like, "You know what? I'm off to Kenya." I drove to the airport from the office. Drove to the airport, flew to Kenya, came saw my mother, and I found her at my sister's house, ailing, sickly, and that was 28th. We stayed. On the 30th of May, I woke up and asked my mother, "Mommy, what date is it today?" Then I told her, "It's 30th. It is your birthday." And you told me.
Yeah, that I will not.
And she said in Kikuyu, "Nanuaji." And I was like, yes, it is my birthday. And I had squeezed myself in her bed. I slept with her. I would sleep on the floor. And a few days later, on the 1st of January, my mom went to be with the Lord.
The 1st of June, you mean?
June, sorry.
Yeah,
the 1st of June.
Yeah.
The 1st of June of 2010, my mom went to be with the Lord.
And that was
I think I've gone the 3rd of June. My mom went to the 3rd of June. My mom went to be with the Lord because we took her to the hospital on the 31st, and she passed away on the 3rd of June, and that was it. So I gallivanted. I was hosting. It was a mid-soccer World Cup, football World Cup in South Africa. So remember, I have this high-end house. So I was hosting people from South Africa. I mean, from America, from UK, from Kenya.
No, wait, that's 2010.
2010.
Yes.
So there was football.
It was around June, yeah.
It was June.
Well,
it was starting on the 11th of June, and we were laying my mother to rest on the 10th.
On the 10th. Tough time.
So, yeah. So I think I'm confusing dates. My mother was laid to rest on the 12th. Soccer was opened on the 11th of June. So after laying my mom to rest, I went back on the 14th. So because I was hosting, of course I was being paid, and these are high flyers. So I forgot about my mom's death because I was going to Loftus to take my guest. So it didn't. But one night, at about midnight, I was at Loftus Field, a chilly cold night, and I don't like football. So I like rugby, not football.
Not football.
And a chill, and people were clapping and happy, and I felt a voice ask me, "You have time to actually, in the middle of night, to come and bring your friends to come, and you never took care of your mother." I was like, "Oh, that was the first thing." That hit me. I almost left my guests. Then I was like, "You're the driver, they're drinking, so you're the dedicated driver. And you're taking them to your house." So we went back, and football was done. Then after football, it started now dawning on me something was not right.
Yes, it was not right.
So that was now 2010. Slowly, 2011, I started becoming not very serious with my work. And I started, I was like a kind of mad. I would wake up in the middle of the night and start writing things. And then I went and told my boss, he was the main boss, I told him, "Mark, I think I want to go and start taking care of the elderly. So he thought I was out of my mind. I told my church. So I started visiting now Soweto, other Alexander, but I was also plugged into a church in South Africa, a Rivers Church. So I was plugged in. So I was also volunteering in so many activities, like church activities, like foundation activities, the Rivers Foundation. I was very, very active with the Rivers Foundation, children's homes.
So you were well grounded. No wonder you can discern.
Yes.
The direction you're supposed to take. You can hear the voice speaking louder than the other voices.
Exactly. So I was, because I was quite, I was also, I was the person organizing all these activities, the foundation's activities. And so it was something that was in me. But slowly things started telling me, Juanjiko, you need to go to Kenya.
Go back home.
Go back home. I called a few friends, my cousin. I remember telling my sister-in-law, Jane, I'm coming to Kenya to help. Will you be helping me wash old people? She was like, yes. Right now, she's like, no ways. What you do, I can't do.
Yeah.
So it went on like that until now, one day on the 24th of May of 2011. Already now I had started writing concept, research. Already now I've seen it is Kenya and understanding the demographics of Kenya and the statistics and the plight of the elderly, in Kenya. So already now it started sinking in me. And that is when now on the 24th of May, I used to jog. So I have so many medals of even running, doing marathons. Yeah, so I was jogging one morning, preparing for a marathon. And on the way now downhill, I was running downhill, and a lady and her husband were running uphill in Rivonia. And the lady, a vehicle from the behind hit the lady, and she was killed on the spot.
Just before your eyes?
Before my eyes.
Yeah.
Yes, before my eyes. I remember the screams, the van stopped. It was a bread van, and the husband was there. So now, of course, I had to be there. We had to report to the police station. Fortunately, I had my phone on me, and of course, the husband could not do anything. Security around there. So we actually did what we had to do. After that, the police came. Then we blocked the road. I went back to my house. And on sitting there, do you know, Reverend Lucy, I slept in the morning. It was at about 6:11 when she was hit, because they had to ask us the time. So I just dozed off. When I woke up, do you know it was 11? Panic attack. Panic hit me. And a voice asked me, and I know it is a voice. If it was you who was hit by that car, have you done what I've called you to do? And I was like, I asked, are you serious? Like, for real? Like, I go to Kenya? That's when it dawned on me that Juanjiko, now you are ready.
You have to go.
You have to go.
Yeah.
I drove to Sunning Hill Hospital for a panic attack. Of course, that class that you're in America and here in Kenya, when someone is hit, people just look and walk away. That one is that it hit me, and that voice hit me. So I went back to my boss the following day. Of course, I had meetings which I missed on that day, and I was reprimanded for that. But they could not understand. So it is now then that, that when the voice is what told me to go back. So I gave a notice. I promised my boss, I did a projection for a few months. And in August, I was in Kenya.
August of 2011.
Yes, I was in Kenya. Trying to find out how to register the organization, and professionally, I needed to do things professionally because with the Rivers Foundation and having been plugged to a church which is very professional, I had to do things right.
The right way.
So, the right way. So that's when now I registered the organization in honor of my late mother, Purity, as a non-governmental organization with the NGO Coordination Board. So that's what I did.
Hence, Purity
Elderly Care Foundation. That is in honor of Purity.
And that's how a high-flying girl had the call.
Yeah.
She packed her bags.
Yes.
Came back home. Left that high life. And you are known as Wajiko Wadwakuru.
Wajiko Wadwakuru.
Because that's what you do. So tell us briefly about Purity Elderly Care Foundation. What is it about?
First, before I tell you about Purity
Yeah.
Elder Care Foundation, when I landed and I decided that I was going to now start taking care of the elderly, everyone thought, this one is coming to lie to Kenyans.
Yeah.
She's just coming to lie to Kenyans. She wants to make money. She wants to be rich.
Yeah,
She
because people have gone through such experiences.
Precisely, that's what people do,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah, that's what people do. So that's what people thought I was.
Yeah.
My own father, who I will tell you today, my father was my dad first. Two, he was my best friend. Or number one, he was my dad. Two, he was my brother because I'm named after his sister. Three, he was my best friend. That man went out there and would tell his friends openly, my daughter is mad. And I think she's gone out of her mind. She's doing things that I cannot understand. I cannot comprehend. This girl is now, should come with cars from the airport. Now she's here with gumboots, walking with old people and going to old people's home. And not just him, people did not, people thought I was out of my mind. And true to it, even me, I actually thought I was.
Yeah.
Even today, I don't think I'm normal. Honestly, I won't lie to you.
So sometimes you have to pinch yourself like,
A lot of
I
times
am
I do.
Wanjiko.
A lot of times I do. I'm good.
Is this for real?
Yeah, is this for you?
Yeah.
I do things that I'm like, and yeah. So when I do things, I have now realized the things, most of the things that I do, or the things that I find that I've done, and I keep asking, where did you get that from? And I keep saying to a number of people, including my siblings, when you see me do something, it is not that I have planned. Nikujikuta. I've just found myself doing things, not because it is So that mad me, it is a calling that God has instilled in Juanjiko that it triggers the activities that
Because
things
even
that I do.
resigning from the job itself,
And
you were on the upward.
do you want six figure?
Please.
6 figures. Yeah.
You left the 6 figures.
And not under 600.
Not under 600K.
Okay.
And now you're talking about dignity to the old.
And with nothing, my friend, I'm a professional
Working with
beggar.
the old, and that's why we want to now get into that story now of what you do every day. We want to take a short break. Dear viewer, you're following this, and this is very insightful. I mean, how God calls us and turns us around and directs us to his purposes, and we just find ourselves moving on to give hope to other people. And that calls for courage and for resilience, and we are learning. So we want to hear about this turnaround and how the story has grown. It's almost 10 years now, and she's still doing it. So we take a short break, and we'll be right back. Please don't go away.